right. What? Why can't y'all hear this music? Can't hear this music because I don't know why you can't hear this music. All right, let's get this started. All right. I got a weird thing going on with my shirt here, but I didn't feel like changing it, and I didn't care. I care a little bit. I care a little bit now. What else could I do about that? Do you guys care? You guys care if my shirt has a little thing like this? It looks weird. Yeah, what if I pull it in? If I pull it in, then it could look more normal. I was trying to figure this out before, and I was like, just let it slide. But now I'm feeling self-conscious. Feeling a little self-conscious. This is how the show's starting, Peter? Yes, this is how the show's starting. This is how it goes. Watch it come out as the show goes. Anyway, I feel a little weird, but it's fine. Fold up the sleeves. I can't fold up these. Fold up the sleeves. Someone's telling me to fold up the sleeves. Well, I'm gonna look like a 1950s like hoodlum. I'm gonna have to put like a cigarette pack underneath here. I already feel like the Fonz. Is that what he's called? Fonzie? Something? All right. I think we're good to go. All right. Hey there, how you doing? My name's Peter. Thanks so much for watching the show. I really appreciate it. I was going to go into my whole intro for the show, but I was like, should I do it over there? Should I do it here? Let's just do it here. Hey there, my name is Peter Hartman. You're watching Bad Guru Nightly, and I am Bad Guru. This show is meant to serve as a reminder that your attention matters. You see, what we give our attention to becomes a greater part of our experience. We shape our world with the power of our attention. So it's important to be deliberate. And I am so glad you decided to give me some of your attention here. Tonight, we'll be talking about how you should never stop moving. We'll also be interviewing groove dance facilitator Diane Dupuis. And Bad Girl will be doing a little rant about motion a little later on. But first, I want to ask you, how was your day? I want you to take part in this fire chat with me. Actually, before I tell you about the fire chat, I've got to let you know Hello, Happy for a Change audience. Right now, I'm streaming to Facebook as well as to YouTube. Normally I don't stream to our Facebook group. I want people to go over to YouTube, but I'm just streaming here for you to know what's going on, for you to know that there is a show. And I want to remind you, head over to youtube.com/happy for a change, hit subscribe, and hit that little bell so you get notified when I go live or upload a video, because the show will not always be on Facebook. All right. So this is your chance. Don't say I didn't tell you. Go over to youtube.com/happy for a change, hit subscribe, and you can become a subscriber there. It really helps us. And if while you're there, like the video, if you like the video, if you don't like the video, thumbs down. Sure. Thumbs down while it's still there. Thumbs down. Thumbs up. But I want to thank everybody who's in the Happy for a Change audience. We got some really fun stuff, exciting stuff coming up. We got multiple variations of the Making a Millionaire principle that's going to be hopefully tackling a lot of issues. We also have 5 powers that are coming to the Happy for a Change audience: earth, fire, wind, water, heart, all associated with a specific ability, a specific power that can be activated with the Happy for a Change audience. And I'm looking forward to that. So make sure you subscribe over on YouTube so you get notified about that as soon as I post the video. All right. Who do we have in the chat here? We got Samantha, self-discovery life coach extraordinaire. She's laughing. She's laughing about what? What are you laughing about? You laughing about my clothes? You laughing about what? I don't know what you're laughing about. If you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions, anything you want to say, post them down in the comments below. Whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, I'll see them here, or at least I should, and I'll tackle them. I'll pick them up if it seems appropriate. All right. Oh, yes. Finally, if you want to support what we're doing with Happy for a Change, head over to patreon.com/happy for a change. For as little as $5 a month, you can become a patron and support Happy for a Change and all of our initiatives and everything that I'm doing here. But we've added a Telegram group. It's a text chat and audio group chats. So if you know about Clubhouse group voice chats, you can participate there in the Telegram group. We got Fireside, and that's for the self-help, personal development aspect of Happy for a Change. We got Jumpstart Live, and that's for the business, improving your life, understanding finance and money, crypto. That's all in the Jumpstart Live. And you can also be a part of the Bag Guru Nightly Telegram group. That is Bag Guru Nightly Live, and all those links you'll get as soon as you become a patron on for Happy for a Change. So you'll get those links right in your email, and you can join us right away. The groups are live, so you're welcome to come in. Right now, there's not a lot of people, very few people, very few people. You'll be getting a lot of my attention. You get a one-on-one. You'll be able to interact with me, ask me anything you want. We can have chit-chats, talks. I'm very much looking forward to talking to any of you who are interested in talking with me. All right, what do we got here? Sam says, I'm amusing. Thanks. And I look good now. All right, well, let's hope it stays that way. Cause anyway. Thank you, Samantha, for posting the links in the comments in the comments below on Facebook. So if you want all the links to our social media, to our YouTube, to everything that we do, you can click on the Linktree link that is in the description right below. All right, let's get this started. 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing an interview with Diane Dupuis. So we gotta be ready for that when that's ready to go. All right, is there anything else that I have to tell you? Oh, if you haven't already, join the Happy for a Change audience. Go over to facebook.com/happy for a change and join the Happy for a Change audience. Look, folks, your attention matters. What you pay attention to matters, and we shape the world with our attention. The Happy for a Change audience is all about using our attention to shape the world. We're going to use the power of social media for more than just cat videos. We're going to use it in order to direct attention to great ideas. What is a great idea? A great idea is an idea that makes you more effective, more efficient, more capable of pursuing your passions, your dreams. And it's one that's also pleasurable, also that's exciting, one that rings your bells. Great ideas. I love great ideas. I think they change the world. I think they empower us as individuals. And those great ideas, they need our help. They're out there chasing us down, but we need to make ourselves known. We need to make ourselves known so they don't have to chase us down. They can find us right where we are. A market for great ideas. That's what the Happy for a Change audience is all about. So become a member of the Happy audience. Go over to facebook.com/happy for change. Just click on the Happy audience group that's right there, and you can join for free. It's super free. It's totally free. It's 100% free. It only costs a little bit of your soul. There's a tiny little morsel of your soul, okay? but you weren't really using that, were you? All right, fireside time. I want to ask you, how was your day? Did you have a good day? Hmm? Did you have a bad day? Did you have a great day? Did you have a boring day? I don't know. Sometimes I wish I had boring days. Sometimes I wish that my day was just boring. Nothing to do. Nothing happened. You know, I feel like the world is so busy now. There's so much happening. And boredom is good. Boredom is a good day. But I don't really feel boredom these days. It's kind of hard for me to feel boredom because nothing has to be in my environment for me to feel excited. Nothing has to be in my environment for me to feel energized because I've realized I can affect how I feel with just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. I remember years ago, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe longer now, I was lying on my bed feeling a little depressed and very depressed. I'm in a basement apartment. I think the electricity was out because I couldn't pay the bill. I was freezing, covered in 3 blankets, lying on my bed, meditating. And I made it my mission at that moment to try to figure out how to make myself feel better with just my thoughts. Because I didn't have money. I didn't have anything in my life to really be happy about. I was depressed. But I realized the power of my thoughts. So I started picking thoughts. I started choosing my thoughts deliberately. Some of us, we choose our thoughts based on what's happening around us. We're reacting to our environment. But I started to choose my thoughts based on what I wanted to think about. Now, at the time, I didn't know what to think about. I didn't have anything to think. I was just exploring the thoughts in my mind. And then I stumbled upon a thought that kind of tickled me a little bit. And then I thought about it longer. I gave it more of my attention, more of my energy. And as I thought about that thought longer, it led me to other thoughts, and it led me to other thoughts. It was like a thread that was pulling. And the more I thought, the more I was pulling this thread, and the more I got to bigger and better feeling thoughts. And to the point where I was thinking thoughts that made me feel so ecstatic that I would be writhing around on my bed, feeling the best that I've ever felt. I can feel that way now if I want to. I can trigger those thoughts and I can feel the best that I ever felt. It was almost unbearable how good it was. And that's the day I realized, wow, the power of attention, the power of our thoughts. You can feel the way you want to feel if you choose to. It's just the way that you're thinking. Oh, I fell in love with the power of the mind in that moment. It's good to be bored a little while. It's good to have a moment of stillness, but it's really important to remember that life is about motion. Life is about moving. That's what it is. You never want to stop moving, at least not for long. Look, as you're sitting there, no matter how still you are, your heart's beating, the blood's pumping through you, your cells are dividing. You're on land that's shifting with the plates of the earth. You're on a earth that's spinning and rotating around the sun, orbiting the sun. There's energy all around you, light and sound. There's motion all around you. You are motion. Life is motion. Life is vibration. When we hear the words energy, what we're talking about is energy in motion, right? Everything is moving. Nothing is static. In fact, those things that are static, those things that appear to be the most static are stagnant. You don't want to drink from a pool of water that isn't moving. And you don't want to have stagnant thoughts. You don't want to have a stagnant mind. You don't want to have a stagnant life. So you want to keep moving. When I was a kid, I did this thing with rollerblades. I fell in love with rollerblading. I'll reveal my age here a little bit, but this is when inline roller skates just came out. Okay, when I learned to skate, I was skating on those old style, skates. Two in front, two in the back, two wheels in the front, two wheels in the back. And then inline skates came out. And I was like, oh my God, it looks so exciting. And I think it took months, maybe even a couple of years for me to be able to get my hands on them. But finally, I got my hands on a pair of rollerblades, my own pair of rollerblades. And I was so happy. I was happy because I like moving. I like going fast. There was something exciting about it. It was compared to walking. It was really good. It was so good, in fact, that I decided I was going to put on these rollerblades and see how long I could keep these rollerblades on my feet without taking them off. How old am I? 13, maybe 13, around 13 years old. So I put on the rollerblades and I make it my mission. I'm not going to take these off for anything. I rollerblade to school. And when I say rollerblade to school, I don't mean that I rollerblade on the street to school. I mean, I went and took the subway with my rollerblades on. You should see me going into the subway, walking down the stairs with my rollerblades, these long flights of stairs, just tuck, 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 tuck down the stairs, rollerblading on the platform, the subway platform, which is against the rules. You're not supposed to do that, but I had to. I just love going fast. I love rollerblading. I go up the stairs when I get to my destination. I rollerblade to school. I get to school, and that's where I take off my rollerblades. Except, no, I'm rollerblading down the halls. I'm rollerblading into class, out of class. I'm going to lunch with my rollerblades on, traveling back home on the subway with my rollerblades, getting back home. Everywhere I went, I wore my rollerblades. I wore my rollerblades in bed to sleep because my goal was to go as long as I could with these rollerblades on my feet. I get to school and I'd have to avoid the principals because you can't be rollerblading in school. But it turns out you can rollerblade in school if nobody catches you. So I'm rollerblading, I'm avoiding principals and teachers. I got to get to the class before the teacher can see me, right? The teacher's got their back turned. I sneak into class. I'm sitting down at my desk with my rollerblades on because I don't want to take them off because I love moving. There's something about moving that made me feel good. And I guess there was something about being sneaky that made me feel good too. I did eventually take off the rollerblades and it wasn't pretty. My feet were sore. They stank. My mom wasn't happy about that. My rollerblade just stunk all the time. I couldn't even get the smell out of it. But it felt so good to move. I'm not a sports guy. I don't do sports and activities or anything like that. I'm more of a reading books and I'm on a computer type of guy. But even someone like me who stays stationary in their physical life very, very often, very, very much, I still appreciate motion. Not only my physical motion, but the motion that happens within me, within my mind, within my heart. When I was in high school, they took us to the park to run on a track, to run around a track, to do different sports, to throw balls, to run around a track. But one of the things I remember is that we ran around this track. It was the first time I actually ran on a track with other people. Again, I wasn't a runner. I used to read books. I'd read my Bible. I was a Christian, so didn't really do much sports. Not that Christians don't do sports. It's just I didn't do it. I just really loved reading my Bible and comic books, Archie comic books. So we get on the track, and they tell us, all of students, everybody in my class, we had to run. We had to run around this track for as long as we could. It was like a marathon running. It wasn't sprint. It was like marathon running. And so we started running. And it didn't take me long to realize I wasn't going to win this, not by a long shot. I could see the other people. There were other guys there. They were running. They weren't out of breath. I could see the fire in them. I could see that they had all the energy in the world, and they were going to run. And they were beating me. They were running faster than I could, lapping me. And I was like, there's no way I can beat these guys. Not a chance. But there was only a few of them that could run like the Dickens and run forever. These guys, they did sports. They had better cardiovascular system than me. I'm a sedentary guy. Of course, I'm not going to beat them. But when I look behind me, I realized there were a lot of people that I was beating. And I wasn't beating them mostly because I could run faster or longer than they could. I was beating them because once the thought occurred to them that they couldn't win, they gave up. I could see them giving up. They weren't exhausted. They hadn't reached their limit. They just gave up. I could see in their eyes, what's the point? Just going to stop. Not going to win. Why put myself through this effort? Why run when there's no point? And that was a moment where I realized, the difference between me and other people, at least these people. I wanted to run for as long as I could. And I pushed myself till I was exhausted. And even though I didn't win, it felt good to push myself, to make the effort to move instead of not move. I couldn't find a reason to stop. It wasn't good enough that I wasn't going to win, because if I stopped, then not only did I lose the race, but I felt like I lost a life. I felt like I gave up in my heart. And the last thing I wanted to do was to give up in my heart. To me, that was the true defeat. And I realized I could win. I could win the moral victory. Maybe that's not the right word, but I could win a different type of victory, the victory over self. In order to do that, I had to move and keep moving. There's so much about life that's like that. So many reasons why we want to stop and give up and not move. I don't have the money. I'll never win. Other people are better than me. What's the point? You're always at war. You're in this competition, not war, but this competition with who you are and who you could be. And I'm surprised by the number of people who are willing to give up, to stop running. And part of that comes because we compare ourselves too much to other people. And we don't realize that the true competition is with ourselves and only ourselves. And part of that is habit. It's a habit. We live in a world where the stairs move for us. The stairs move for us. You can get to the staircase. You have a choice to go up the static staircase or the escalator. And most people choose the escalator because the escalator makes it easy. But what it does is that it trains you to not make effort. I'm not saying never to use the escalator. What I'm saying is that there's so much in our life that programs us not to make an effort. Let someone else do it. What's the point? I can't win. Someone else can do it better than I can. And that type of thinking is stagnant thinking. That kind of thinking leads to the waters of the mind becoming putrid and unhealthy for you. I want to encourage you to move. I want to encourage you to dance. Dancing to me is a motion that it's a motion for its own sake. It's not like a race. It's motion for motion's sake. And I think to me that is the mantra of the universe. The mantra of the universe is play. 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 Action for its own sake. There doesn't have to be a reason to move, only that we desire the feeling of motion. Desire is a type of motion. Desire is the energy moving through you. Desire is your emotions activated in your body. Desire is your sense of life flowing through you. And there are people who've given up on their desire. They've given up on their wanting. They've given up on this energy that can flow within them. And no surprise, those people are experiencing stagnation in their lives. You've heard the stories, right? Someone's full of life, vital, then they retire. What happens? What happens when they retire in such a way that there's nothing for them to do? They expire. They deteriorate pretty quickly. It's surprising. You can see someone today, and then they retire, and you see them again 6 months from now, a year from later, and it looks like they've aged 10 years. You're not made to retire. You're not made to stop moving. You are an action being, inward and exterior. You're supposed to move. Movement is life. The motion that I'm talking about is not necessarily physical motion. There's all kinds of reasons why you might not be able to do physical motion. But by God, if you have a choice and you do, the motion in here and the motion in here is vital for life. And you know this. I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't know. But sometimes life gets the better of us. And it helps that we're social creatures. That we have someone else who can remind us of what we already know. To reactivate those thoughts in our mind. Move. Move. Find some way to move. Find some way to change. Find some way to grow. Find some way to expand. Find some way to feel. Find some way to vibrate in this world, because the more you vibrate, the more alive you will feel. And the more alive you feel, the more life feels worthwhile. I remember lying down on my bed, feeling depressed, feeling like life was over for me, feeling like there was no hope. I was feeling stagnant. And there was nothing I could do in the physical world, not really in order to feel much better, but I could stir my thoughts. I could agitate my mind, specifically and with purpose, to focus on something that might stimulate me. And the thought that I found was not this ever expanding, explosive thought in my head. It was a tiny little thought that made me feel a tiny little motion in my heart. And I did that for its own sake. I did it to dance with the universe. And when I did that, what I found was that the universe led. And as long as I was willing to follow, the universe took me. 10 years later, I can't even stop if I wanted to. I couldn't stop if I wanted to. I am such motion. I'm a comet shooting through space. And I'll move forever until the world stops me. I will not be stopping myself. And while I'm here, I'm going to make it my job to move you. All right. Luckily, I'm not the only one who's moving, folks. Luckily, there's other people on this planet who's getting people off their butts and moving them. In fact, the person that I'm going to be talking to any moment now is someone who got me off my butt, my physical butt, and got me to move, got me to groove. Are you ready for our guest? I'm ready for our guest. I'm going to bring her up on stage. Oh, let me get my headphones first so I can hear her. All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think we're good. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Peter. How you doing? I'm off center again.
Diane?
No. I'm good,
don't worry
thanks.
about it. All right, let me give you a proper introduction here. Groove facilitator. She's doing daily Zoom grooves. It's every day, folks. She had her 1 year anniversary doing daily Zoom grooves on March 21st. And today she's done her 419th Zoom groove class. I am delighted to welcome to the show Diane Dupuis. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Peter. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so happy that you got to be here today. One of my favorite people on this planet. I was letting people know that you got me to groove dance. You got me to shake. And if anybody knows me, they know Sam especially. She was really surprised that I was dancing. You know, I'm the guy. I wake up in the morning, I'm at my computer. But here was the morning I woke up and I was dancing not only with you, but with a bunch of other people, and it felt great. What gave you the idea to do something like that? To do Zoom while everybody was under the pandemic, while everybody was lost in despair? You get up, you get it in your mind. I'm going to do online Zoom groove dances. All right, how did that start?
Well, I didn't create it, but I was teaching live classes before the pandemic hit, and so I would take 2 or 3 classes a week, and I would give at least one. Anyways, usually about 3, 4 classes a week, and then everything shut down. And I just kind of sat there on my couch, like, for a couple of days going, what? So I know people were trying the Zoom thing. Like, who knew what Zoom was before March of last year? Nobody. So I was just sitting and watching what everybody else was doing. And so a week after it hit, I usually had classes Saturday mornings. And I said, I'm just going to try the Zoom thing. I don't know what's going to happen. So I said, I'll try it on Saturday, because that's my weekly day of the that I gave classes. 26 people showed up. So I was not the only one who wanted to keep dancing.
That's right.
And like the technology, it worked out okay. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it for 7 days. And now it's 419 classes later. I don't even know what I would do with myself if I wasn't doing this every day. I love it. It's given me purpose and joy, and like everyone tells me that's what I'm giving them, but like if I didn't have them to wake up to in the morning, like I don't know what I would do. So it's been truly a blessing. Yeah, so it's
That's
been interesting.
fantastic. That I love that go-getter attitude, that attitude that says, even if the world is exploding, I'm still going to find some way to be light, to move, to be optimistic. We have Samantha Barley here saying, "Hi, Diane." She says,
Hi,
"Wow,
Sam.
she's impressed by what you're doing there." Um, that's really fantastic. And did you find that the technology was at all limiting or daunting? Was it difficult
Very,
to use the technology?
very. Yeah, I'm going to say it took about 8 months to get it working well. And that
Wow.
included a 150-foot cable from the modem through the bathroom floor to the basement. Like, so new computer, having Bell come in 3 times to upgrade the internet, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And at the beginning, that's what I said. Like, I don't have the right space. I don't have the right computer. I don't have the bandwidth. But I'm going to try it anyways because groove really brings a lot of joy to my life. And I know grooving with other people, they enjoy it too. So I had to try it. I had to try it. So.
And when you decide that you're going to try something, and then you meet up with these obstacles that you may or may not be familiar with dealing with, what motivates you to sort of push through that boundary?
So I kind of joke, like I've always been a secretary all my life, and like I've been around longer than any equipment that I've worked with. Like that's how long I've been around. Like I learned on a not an electric typewriter, but a real typewriter. So like I just say to myself, and my friends laugh at me, but it's like I'm smarter than you, and I'm going to figure this out. And then I go Google the question, and I usually find the answer on the internet. So, but yeah, I tend to like some people get super frustrated, and I don't want to waste any energy on that because I believe in energy and what we put out is what we get back. So if you get angry, it's just going to get angrier at you. So, and
Mhm.
like if my printer's not working, I'll talk nicely to it rather than, swear at it because swearing doesn't help. Maybe I don't know that talking nice helps, but I try.
I hate banging it a bit. That kind of helps,
Get a little slap on the side there. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So.
fantastic. And all right, so we'll take a step back and how, if I can ask you, how has the pandemic affected you, or has it affected you? Whether it's circumstances, habits that you might have had, or emotionally inside. Did you feel like this was a challenge for you, or was it easy breezy?
So it's not easy breezy, but not as hard as some people. I know it's been very difficult for some people. I was actually unemployed at the time that it hit. I actually went for an interview on the Thursday, and then we shut down on Friday.
Wow.
So, and the last thing I asked at Concordia was like, "So is the university going to be open?" We can't tell you. Anyways, so, yeah, I was already kind of sitting at home, but I had a room on Airbnb, so I had people coming and going, which obviously stopped. And that was a source of income. And I was giving live classes, which also stopped. But it wasn't like a huge change for me. And because it only took me a week to figure out this one thing that I love doing, like I turned my side hustle into my full-time job, basically, which never would I have ever told you a year ago, or, well, a year and 14 months ago, or 14 years ago that this is what I'd be doing every day. But I'm really, really super grateful that this is what's happened. And like, I feel kind of bad because I know a lot of people are struggling, really struggling, mentally and otherwise. And I'm not. And I'm loving it. I'm kind of an introvert and like I don't need to see people all the time. Like there are some things that I was volunteering for community theater groups and running their box office and so I would see people at shows and stuff and I miss that. And we used to do um, I used to coordinate teams of photographers that would go into places and take photos of elderly people, which obviously we don't do anymore. So like we missed a whole year of all this volunteer work that I used to do that was really meaningful and we miss, but obviously is not happening right now. But yeah, having the daily grooves has been really good for my mental health. That's for sure.
And I think I love that you say that. It's very important because there is a benefit to having side hustles that go beyond um, uh, just the hobby of it or the activity of it. It can act as a sort of safety or outlet if something else goes wrong. It's like a
Right.
redundant system. It's like a backup or something like that.
Hmm.
And even if you might not be making money off of it or living off of it, just developing that skill, that ability, those habits, you might find that when you lose one, then something else comes, and something else that you've already been working on can come and strengthen you. So
Right.
it's no surprise to me that, of course, this is something, the groove dance is something you were doing beforehand, and it just got expanded or got stronger for you or more focused when this
Hmm.
pandemic hits.
Right.
And that's a habit that I feel like a lot of people should have, right? To not expect that the thing that you're doing is always going to be there, but to build up some type of resilience by expanding yourself into these other territories, these other
Right.
things that you can do.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, I'm just going to make sure that Sam's not trying to contact me. That she's my producer. She lets me know if everything's all right. Everything seems perfectly
I
fine.
miss dancing with you, Sam. You got to get her to come shake her butt too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She's got a butt worth shaking. I shouldn't have said that. Of course, I
Oh,
should.
you shouldn't.
All right. Okay. I think you've answered these. How do you perceive? Okay. How do you perceive the Zoom groove dances? How do you perceive their effect on the participants?
So sometimes I don't hear anything, right? And like they smile and they're having a great time and they say thank you after and the class ends and that's it. But then every once in a while someone pops in and says, so I was able to walk around IKEA without sitting down for the first time ever. Like she's an elderly lady, she does groove in the chair and like she's been doing it for 3 or 4 months, like twice a week maybe. And she thanks me, she blames me, or thanks me for her stamina building and her being able to walk through IKEA. And I don't know if you've ever walked through IKEA, but it's a long walk without
Absolutely.
having to take a break. And she's never in her 60 years been able to do it. So things like that. And then someone else left a relationship that wasn't good for her. And my
Wow.
class is all about self-love. Every love song, we have to sing it to ourselves. And I drill it in their heads because like it took me years to get to that point. So and one of the girls said, look, I left my relationship of 10 years because it just it wasn't good for me. And you gave me the strength to do it. So yeah, some days I don't know that I'm making any changes and then I'll get something like that. And it's like, okay, I'm inspiring people. So
Absolutely, and that is something. There was a study that was done. I can't remember when, but they took this group of elderly people who needed care. They were in an elderly care home, and they put them in their own home, like this house that they got just for them. They gave them everything they needed in the house, the tools that they needed, but then they left them to take care of themselves.
okay.
Like this was the experiment. And what they found is that these people who could not take care of themselves before, once given the responsibility to do it, were not only able to do it, but they were happy to do it. Like their energy got up, their ability to do these things. There's something about this expectation when you say to yourself, "Oh, I can't do this thing." But then when you take on the challenge of, "Okay, I'm gonna try to," it awakens your abilities in such a way that you might find yourself able to do this thing.
Absolutely. I agree. Like I never biked and my anyways, for some reason I wound up signing up for the Ride to Conquer Cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. And I was planning to go and volunteer because I was always a volunteer at the breast cancer walk. Anyways, I signed up to do the bike ride. It's 2 days to Quebec City. It's 300 kilometers. So everybody around me went like, you can't do this. So of course I did it twice. I was like, just to make sure the first time wasn't a fluke, I'm doing it the next year because my son, when I got to the finish line, he says, I'll do it with you next year. It's like, oh, really? Okay. But there's nothing like someone telling you you can't do it to really inspire you to want to do it even more. But yeah,
I get that. I like
yeah,
that. To me, it's the Dennis the Menace type of syndrome that I always love. Like this willingness to fight and to be a kind of against what other people are doing. You don't tell me what to do. You mentioned the groove helping someone not only walk through IKEA, but with their relationship. And I feel like this is a perfect time to explain groove dancing is not just like I experienced this. It wasn't just dancing; it was a whole experience. Do you want to sort of
Right.
lay out what that experience is like?
Well, over the hour, we start off with a slow warm up, and it's usually a love song. And I always tell everybody to sing it to themselves, but it's important to prepare your body for the hour of movement. But I'm always sneaking little seeds into your brain at the same time. And then, so when we groove, the whole idea is not to look like me or look at me even. As long as you can hear me in the music, that's fine. Because I'll tell you to clap. Like you don't have to look at me to figure out how to do this, right? So we're all united because we're doing it. We're clapping together, but we're all doing it uniquely. Like I'll clap over here, whatever. So it gets your imagination and your creativity working. But then, as we cool down, there's an like you have to do stillness. It's part of the groove experience. I didn't create this. Misty Tripoli created this, and it's been around for about 10 years. But the stillness kind of like packs it all back together. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just a really important part. And it's funny because like some people can't do it. They won't do it. Someone's been doing it with me for a year, and she won't lie in stillness. She just won't. So, and I was explaining it to someone the other day. I was like, I feel like I'm a buffet, and I have everything to offer. But like, some people will never eat the radishes. They just never like are going to eat the radishes. Well, the radishes can be amazing. So they will pick and choose the things that they like, and then maybe over time they'll try another little thing that I have to offer. But I'm still offering the same buffet every day, and people pick and choose what they get from it. And some people will never leave with anything more than some sweat and some good endorphins, but other people, well, I know for me it changed my life. So yeah,
It was a beautiful sort of meditative experience because you had the sort of more excited dancing, more energetic dancing, and then you had slow dancing and sort of what I went to a dance class. I studied hip hop dancing in my 20s, early 20s. Okay, I go to the hip hop dance class with my brother, and
I
we're in
wish
a
I could see
room.
that. Is there a
Uh,
video? I want to see that.
I was so bad at it. Actually, there is a video I could send you, not
Okay,
of the
good.
dance class, but I ended up dancing at a club with my brother on stage. Anyway, it was this weird thing. It actually might be on Facebook if I didn't get shamed enough to take it down. It's like the oldest video on my Facebook page. But so I get to the dance class. And I absolutely love hip hop dancing. I love choreography. I just love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the room. There's, I don't know, 20 other people in there, big mirror, the teacher. And it doesn't take long before I realize I can't do this. Like, I can't follow someone
Mm-hmm.
else's dance moves. My brother Tom,
You you
he's
can't
getting
fast. You can't follow fast enough.
exactly right. That's exactly
Right.
right. I
That's
would
how I feel in
follow
a Zumba class. It's like I figure it out eventually, and I can figure out choreography eventually, but not as fast as like not before you go and switch the move. And it's like I just figuring this one out. Oh my gosh,
and the
that must have been
shame that
funny.
I felt. Oh man, because my brother, he was nailing it all. You know, having a twin brother who does things
So
next to you,
annoying.
it's like the worst. It's like the worst. It's anyway. I was going to tell a terrible joke, but anyway. So we're in the room, and it takes me about 5 seconds. I'm at like a 5 second delay,
Mm-hmm.
and in front of the mirror, like raise your right hand. But to me, it takes a second to left and right, and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Zoom dancing, the Zoom dancing, the groove dancing,
Right.
it was up to me to decide. Like it was,
Mm-hmm.
yes, there's some type of guidance, so I don't have to come up with everything on my own. That can be its
Right.
own different type of stress. But it's
Yeah.
like clap. Well, I could clap anywhere they want. I don't have to clap at a certain speed. Like even if I'm at a concert or something and people are clapping, like they're not clapping the way I want to clap. Like everybody tends to clap faster and be faster and faster. Like I hate it when the guy on stage is like, clap with me. I'm like, do you not know that they're gonna do twice as fast as what you're doing here? Suddenly he's like trying to catch up. Like I don't like following along with other people. I like the
Right.
freedom of doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I felt. I felt it immensely in this class, this freedom to move the way I wanted to move. It was such a
Right.
beautiful gift. And the meditative experience really was that. Like I meditate, But once you meditate after moving your body in whatever way that your heart tells you, and then you go still, it's like it felt like the sun comes out. Like in my house, it felt like the sun was
I've
coming
had
out. It
people
felt so
burst
good.
into tears during stillness, and I love that. My son always makes fun of me. He's like, "You're happy when someone cries in your classroom?" We're like, "Yes," because because a lot of people have a veneer and they won't let it come through. And
Mhm.
when they take my class for the first time and they cry during stillness, or when they wake up, I know that like they were open and able to receive everything at the buffet that I had to offer that day. But yeah, so it's an important part of pulling it all together, and I'm glad you felt that way. That's
Well,
amazing.
you made me eat my radishes, and I was very happy to eat them that day. It felt really good. How do you stay generally? I'm sure the groove helps, but how do you stay motivated? Do you have any like guiding principles, or like where do you find motivation? How do you stay that way?
Oh gosh. So I tend to say I live in a happy bubble. I don't watch the news. I can't. I don't watch or read the news. Like I know things are happening, and I know, like I'm on Facebook, so I know every disaster that's happened. I know what happened in Israel. I know how many people died. But I
Hmm.
don't watch it. Like so I read this article. I sent it to Mark Manson, Mark Mason. It's called "Fuck Yes or No." Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. Anyways,
You said it. You said it.
I did. Whoops. And it was life changing because like the whole concept is if you are not super excited to do something, don't. Like, and even if it could be seeing a family member, like it could be in dating, it could be at work. Like if you freaking hate your job, change jobs. Like seriously, you'd spend too much time there to be totally miserable. So, and like if you have a friend but like they bug you and you don't like hanging out with them, don't hang out with them. Like so my friend circle is kind of smaller, but it's better. Like it's better to have like 4 quarters than 100 pennies. So that has been life changing. Is focusing on the good, and like not like if you spend 5 minutes watching the news, you just lost 5 minutes. You could have been laughing or dancing or doing something that you enjoy. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how I stay motivated. Is I
That's
focus on the good. And I follow people like this guy Peter Hartman. I don't know if you've heard of him, but like the whole law of attraction thing and the whole it's sinking in. I've been listening to you for a couple of years now, and it's just I try to sell it to my people in Groove too, and not everybody's buying that in my buffet, but that's okay. But I truly believe it. Like first off, if you don't ask, no one knows what you want. Like seriously, in every aspect of your life. Like if that like if you need something, ask for it. The answer could be no, but what if it's yes? Like what if it's yes? It could be yes. So people can't read your mind, so communicate and ask for what you want, and you could just ask the universe, and maybe the universe is listening, and you are listening also. Like so,
that's right.
the internal mental talk, like I work on that a lot on with my people. It's like your self talk has to be like you're talking to 4-year-old you, or your bestest, sweetest friend or grandmother. Like you would never say some of the garbage that you say to yourself, like to other people.
That's
So
right.
stop it. Stop talking to yourself like that. It's just not cool. So
That makes a lot of sense. I love that word focus, because even when you're asking the universe for something, the part of what that power is your focus attention on what you desire. And there are a lot of people who don't even give themselves permission to figure out what they desire, never mind
right.
asking for it, right? And so when somebody tells you, hey, you can ask the universe for something, it's this permission that says there's value in you figuring out what you want to focus on. There's value in figuring out where you want the energy of your life to flow. And then,
Absolutely.
like you say, being deliberate with what gets your attention. My
Mm-hmm.
goodness, the amount of excuses people have to give their attention to something that doesn't serve them. Why? Look, I watch the news every day, okay? But I watch it, it's humor. It's humor for me. It's fodder for me. Like if I was watching this and it was destroying my life, I wouldn't watch it. Like I never
Right.
recommend to
But
anybody.
some people
Look,
watch it and it destroys their life.
it
Like,
destroys their life.
yeah,
Yeah, totally, totally. Okay, I love that focus, paying attention,
yeah.
paying
Ab-
attention to Peter. That's not my words. That's your words. That's not my words. That's your words.
but it's
Uh,
true.
do you think you'll continue doing Zoom groove sessions once the world opens up?
Yes, As long as they keep coming, I'll keep doing it. I mean, I have people that come from Portugal and the United States, and I don't have to pay rent. Like I pay very little amount of rent compared to the studio that I used to rent for $50. Like some days I didn't make any money, and some days I was out of pocket to pay rent. So yes, I will be continuing as long as my body keeps up. I will continue. So
That's fantastic.
yeah. And as long as they keep coming.
It's really good to have to, they have to keep coming. And if you're watching this and you haven't done something like this, head over to, absolutely do it. The link is going to be down below. You can find the Zoom group sessions online. I'll put the link below just because the name of it is a little tricky. I mean, do you know it by heart, DD?
DD, that's Diane Dupuis. 8/28 is my birthday. Don't forget it. And Groove. So DD828 Groove is my little handle on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And it's every morning at 10:26 Eastern time for an hour.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and you want to do yourself the gift of trying it at least once. I am really glad I did. I actually recorded myself, so when I edit this episode, I'm going to be putting a clip of me dancing in there, getting all sweaty.
I can't wait.
All right, so I want to ask you. Okay, let's see here. Has anything surprised you in this past year? I mean, it could be anything at all. Like, have you been surprised by your ability to do this? Have you been surprised by the people or anything? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but has anything surprised you?
Well, in some ways. So I'm kind of in quarantine with my ex-husband, who I left like 6 years ago. And like we have lunch and dinner together every day. And thankfully we chose to stay friends because this year would have really sucked. Because like we get along because I know I can go upstairs to my own apartment, but like it's good to have someone because I think being totally alone would have really been hard. But also I find connections with people that you used to do stuff with outside the home. Like there's no connection right now. Everybody's kind of like, hi, how are you? And like it's hard to, you can't connect if you don't see people. So that's been challenging. But hopefully we'll get back to normal eventually.
Yeah, I hear things are. I hear there's light at the end of the tunnel, so that's pretty good.
Yes.
I love those balloons and those lights. I want to let people know that's what it looks like when you're in the Zoom group. That's what you see. Okay, so you're like, hey, what's going on in your house? That's what I got to see for the whole time I was at. It's a true party
every day.
You
so
really
I actually look
like
back to my first classes, and like it was all bare walls and the orange couches, which anyways. So there's been a big change, but like I've been in this room for 400 days. So, yes. So the rainbow over here, hang on, which way is it? Yeah. So the rainbow I created for my 50th. So it's actually wrapping paper it took me 3 hours, but I made different colored wrapping paper into a rainbow, and then I added the lights and the whatever. And then there's like the stars along the ceiling. That was New Year's. And like the other thing was anyways, yeah. I had nothing much to do other than decorate.
I can listen to you name all the things all day long. Anyways, I want to hear all of them. When did those balloons come into the picture?
So the blue and yellow balloons. No. So I actually have colors. Like there were the Christmas balloons, although someone didn't like the green of the Christmas ones because it looked like red, white, and green was Italian rather than Christmas. I'm Jewish. What do I know? Like, anyways. I had the wrong color, green. It's a color they had at the dollar store at the time. So then I had green and it doesn't matter. Anyways, it's fun.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, balloons, I don't know. I used to just play with balloons. Growing up, I just blow up balloons. It had this like stress factor to like, I didn't know how big I could blow it before they could pop. But anyway, just making them whistle.
Fun. They're fun. And if you just throw one amongst adults, like it's automatic. People have to like keep the balloon off the ground. It's absolutely, we become children again. It's great. It's great.
All right. So, all right. Before we move to the questions that I ask everyone, just two here. What would you like people to know about? Well, the question I usually ask is, what do you want? What would you like people to know about Diane Dupuis? No.
About me? I thought it was about Groove.
It was about Groove, but I only changed it but since we talked about Groove, the reason I asked this question is that sometimes you're interacting with people and you never get the chance to like say something because a question hasn't popped up. So it could be like anything. Whenever I leave a room with people, I was like, oh, I wish I had said that. I wish I had an opportunity to say that. So this is kind of an open-ended question. If there's anything about you or about group dancing that you think people should know or would
This
like
is
to
the
know.
longest conversation I've had with anyone for over a year. I just want you to know. So yeah, just try it. Like seriously, like I believe in intentions in the morning, and I've purposely picked wake up songs. Good to Be Alive is like one of my favorites because like don't wait till you're a cancer survivor to figure out that it's a blessing to wake up every morning. It really is. And like I wake up and before I open my eyes, I have thank you on repeat in my head. And before I go to bed, I have thank you on repeat. Like you don't even have to thank for anything in particular. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. You can make a list if you want, but just thank you. Like it's life changing. But anyways, that's not what I wanted to say. Groove is for everybody, and there are so many people that are scared to try it, like including some of my best friends. And I'm like, this is life changing. You have to come try it. It's like, oh, I don't know. I did it. Try it. So one of my intention wake up songs for a whole year was from Zootopia. It's called Try Everything. Try it. Like you may hate it, but what if you love it? Like just try everything. Try everything once, or maybe twice. But then like if it, if you don't try something new, you're just gonna live the same life every day. So that's boring.
I knew that I was going to have, fun, but I didn't realize I was going to have fun. That was it. Really, like, really do try it. That's really good. And I really asked you how can people interact with you and what you do. So I think Sam posted the link in the comment below. Actually, let me just put it up on the screen.
That's
so
me.
folks can see it. You can go over to Facebook, and I think you're also on Instagram.
Yeah.
Same name,
DD828 Groove. That's me.
Excellent. And we all know when to wish you happy birthday now.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I'm expecting many wishes.
All right. So here are some, I was calling them happy questions.
Peter,
Yeah.
hang on.
Yes.
It's pay what you can. So
Perfect.
money should never be a reason not to come to class with me, because I've actually been working with an organization called Global Dana before, when I had live classes, and it was pay what you can. There was a bucket of money and people put in what they could, took out their change. Like there's no price. So if you can't afford it, I especially want you to come. Like seriously. And some people give $5 a week or a month or whatever, and don't worry about the money. It's not at all about the money. So
you just took away a big excuse for people.
Sorry, but
I love it. You'll have a fun time if you do it, for sure. All right. I was calling these happy questions only because they fell under happy for a change questions. I'm gonna have to change that title because I had a comedian yesterday going, these questions aren't happy. There are questions that I was like, if I could ask people anything, these are kind of the questions that I would want to ask. So these are the happy for a change questions. All right. And I'm going to put the caveat here. They don't have to be the best answer. I know if you thought about it for hours, you come up the greatest answer.
I tried not to. I purposely tried not to.
Perfect. All right.
But you better ask the superpower one. Don't cut that one out.
Oh yeah, that's the last one. It's one of my favorites. All right. If you could add, remove, or change one thing to improve the world, what would that be?
I'd remove weapons of all kind.
That's very interesting. What about baseball bats?
You can only use it to play baseball.
I love that. Oh my God, what would the world be like? Okay, now I'm done.
Yeah. So when my son was little and like they had toy guns, they weren't allowed toy guns. So he'd take a cucumber and make a gun with it, right? Because like that's what they do. They want to shoot the bad guys. So real weapons gone.
I like that.
That's what I would do.
Beautiful. You'd have to find some other way to solve those problems, people.
Exactly.
All right.
Talk to each other.
So I want to know what you love. So who, where, and what is a person, place, and thing that you love?
So I'm going to say my son, Richard. Place that, like my bed. Seriously. Like where I spent most of my time this last year. Like I like to travel, but like I really like my bed. It's a great place to be. And so thing is going to be my dog. Things that pets are like, so she was actually diagnosed with some serious heart issues like 2 years ago, and she had like 6 months to live, and she's still here. And thankfully, like she's been here through the pandemic, because oh my gosh, like things would be totally different. But yeah, my dog Lucy.
Lucy. Oh, what kind of dog is she?
She's an SPCA special, but she looks like a long-haired Jack Russell. They're called Parson Russells, but she's like a
Oh,
mix.
very
She's in
cool.
another floor because she'd be very busy right now, distracting mommy.
Perfect. I love that. I love hearing what people love. All right. Well, you kind of answered this, but you say you don't watch the news. What do you pay attention to? Like, what do you like to give your attention to on a regular basis?
So my friend Peter Hartman,
Ah,
actually, I watched like all your videos from a while ago, but you also taught me like when things wind up in your feed that don't like serve a happy purpose, like stop following them. Like that's really powerful because then like your feed becomes like you can narrow down the garbage that you don't want. That has been really good. So but if it like so things that bring me joy. So I try to watch like if I'm watching something on Netflix, I'm not watching murder mysteries and I'm not watching, zombies. Like that doesn't bring me joy. But like I just watched Bunheads, like it's about this girl who's teaching these little girls ballet. I used to take ballet. Perfect. It's just like things that bring you joy. So it could be
that's
different for
fantastic.
everybody else, but yeah.
You shared a video with me a while back. It was a video of a gentleman. It totally it planted a seed in my head that still affects me to this day. It infects everything that I do now. It gave me a perspective on humanity. It was this video of a man going up to people's houses and paying their rent for a month.
Yeah.
Like he just walks up to the house. Hey, I'm just want to know. Like I know it's a weird question, but how much is your rent? And
Mm-hmm.
the person's like, and then he'd like take out a lot of money and like, okay, here's $1,200. And some people like there
I
was one
love it.
guy who's like, I prayed to God yesterday. I didn't know for my family, for my kids, how I was going to pay the rent. You're an
Mm-hmm.
angel from God, and you're like, I was like, there are videos of people just doing stuff like this. I had no idea. Meanwhile, I'm
And I'm
watching
pretty sure
politicians.
I'm pretty sure I found it because of you. Like you probably said, like go find stuff that happy things, and
Oh,
that's a happy thing. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the kindness boomerang video. Like I was involved in the kindness movement for
oh,
several years, and it's basically like one person does a kindness act. It's called the kindness boomerang, and
mhm.
it's by Life Vest Inside. Anyway, so one person does a kind act, and like it goes around the block, and it comes back to where it started. And like I think of that all the time. Like you may do something kind for one person, and you don't know what the ripple effects are, but like there are usually ripple effects. And so just start with one kind thing at a time, right? I mean, I'd love to pay everybody's rent, but I got to pay mine first.
That's right. Well, that's where I came up. That's what inspired. It was part of what inspired my making millionaires idea. I
Mhm.
realized that people could really actually get pleasure out of even if it's $5 to give it to someone, and $5 to give it to someone. I don't know how much juice people would get, but if your $5 is combined with everybody and it's $1 million that you get, then we can get this fun, this joy of like figuring out, hey, what doors are we going to knock on? Who can we give
Right,
$1 million to? And that's what led me. I was like, oh my god, this is what this guy did was not only a service to this person, but everybody who's watching it is getting like
inspired. Yeah.
totally inspired and a wonderful feeling. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, we got to practice this act of kindness and giving for other people. We got to make that a part of our society. So thank you for paying attention and sending that to me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
If you could speak to everyone in the world uh, at once, just once, what would you tell them?
Be kind.
Be kind. Be
Like
kind.
you don't know what the person next to you is going through, and like everyone's going through something. So just assume like they just had the worst day ever and be kind. Like just be kind because
That's
yeah.
beautiful. I love that. Exactly. Be kind. And
Be kind.
this is a big question, I know. Maybe it's not a big question, but how would you define what is your purpose in life?
In life. I think that changes on a regular basis. And I think I kind of think of life as chapters. And I think I've had different purposes over the years. Like I was young and then I was a wife and then I was a mother and then I was,
Hmm.
So but this chapter, which no one expected to be looking like this, I I hope to inspire people. I hope to like the people who come to my class, like every day, like I do this little light of mine every day for 419 classes. Like,
Wow.
my daily reminder to you is to find your light and let it shine. Like, I do it. Like, I also have intentions after every class, and I told them this week, it's like, these intentions, they're all things I need to hear. It's just like, but if I put out the intention for the day is like, eat more vegetables, and I don't eat more vegetables, it's kind of bad. Um, so yeah, it's just, I'm trying to, while working on myself, self-love and being kind to myself, I hope to inspire others to do it too. So.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, just two more questions here. All right, so this one is my favorite question to ask people.
I forget
I-
which
I-
one.
which would you rather know for a
Oh,
fact? Okay, the afterlife,
afterlife.
aliens, or ancient history?
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
Yes, for sure.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
so ancient history, like I'm not interested. I don't know why. Like, and even like ancestry and I don't care. Like, I don't care because like the genes that are in me are the genes that are in me, and it's the life that I'm living and the world around me that is shaping me now, right? And like, if the genes have an effect on how I'm being shaped, like, I can't change it. So like, I don't spend time on things I can't change, or I try not to. So aliens, they're there. We'll figure it out eventually. But like, afterlife, I think it would be fun to know what happens after.
I love
I'd like,
it. I love it.
yeah.
I'm leaning in your direction. I
Yeah.
mean, I care about all three, but afterlife, I feel like that would solve a lot of problems. All right, if we knew for sure. Um, Beautiful. Oh, good. Okay, so I do understand you, and we are connected. I love it. Okay, perfect. Um, Nobody has to agree with me. I'm just happy that my friend is agreeing with me. Um, all right, last question here. If you could have any superpower, what superpower would it be?
So I had to go look up what the different super, like, I've seen movies obviously, but my goal, it's going to be a mix of teleportation, but then what Superman does, because like, he flies and he sees everything, but he gets there really quickly. So, but I feel like in teleportation, it's kind of like you're in a dark little tunnel and then you're in the other place. So I want to get somewhere quickly, no waiting in line at the airport, no delays for my baggage. Like, I just want to get there, but I think I want to see on my way. So a fast
Wow.
Superman teleportation mix.
I've never even thought about that before. I want
Like,
to
I want
fly
to travel, I want to
fast.
do things, but like,
I
yeah,
want to
getting an
see it
airplane
as
right
I'm
now.
going.
Yeah, I want to, like, I want to fly. So one of the songs we do in Groove is like a magic carpet, and I always say, like, pretend you're going. I always want to fly my magic carpet over the Greek islands because like, it's the blue water and the white buildings, and I just feel like it's got to be so beautiful. And I've already flown over mountains in Alaska, so I know what that looks like. So yeah, I want to see
That's
it on my way there, but it shouldn't take more than 3 minutes.
oh my goodness. Well thought out. I really love that. One of the most
That's the only
beautiful
one I
ways that
thought
I've
about.
heard. That's good. Excellent. Oh, that's so good. Diane, I had so much fun talking with you here
Thanks for
today. I'm
having
so
me.
glad you got to share. I feel very similar to when I did your groove dad, just kind of fiery and alive. You got me prepared to go rant as bad guru. Really appreciate that. Everybody, please go and check out Diane's groove classes. They're super fun. You do have to try it once. If you've been stuck in this whole pandemic and locked in, you haven't done anything, you're missing people, this will tickle that funny bone here for you. And she's a wonderful facilitator. She's absolutely fantastic. Diane Dupuis, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Peter. Take
Take
care,
care.
everybody.
Have a nice
Bye.
night. Bye. Oh boy. Oh boy. One of my favorite people on the planet. I really love spending time with her. I can't wait to show you my video of me dancing around like a sweaty buffoon. It was a blast. I, I had forgotten that I was dancing all the time. Like I spent a long time every morning. I just wake up and dance, and then I didn't. You know, you get busy with life. You're solving problems. You're putting out fires, and then the pandemic and all that stuff. And then when I did the groove dancing, it just reminded me again. My goodness, I have to dance. So I've been dancing more. I've been singing more. I can't forget that aspect of my life, and Diane really helped me to remember that. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to transform to become Bad Guru here. Going to rant a little bit, and then the show will be over. So I'm not going to keep you very long. It's just going to be a few minutes of Bad Guru talking about motion and telling a story. I think I wrote down something to talk about, and that'll be it. Before I let you, let me just take a look. There's any comments? No. Okay. Before I let you folks go, please remember to go over to youtube.com/happy for a change and hit subscribe and hit that little bell so that you know when we go live and upload a video. Right now we're streaming onto Facebook, but it won't always be the case. Make sure to go over to YouTube. It really helps me to if you subscribe there, if you can like a video there. I really appreciate it. If you want to support what we're doing, it's not mandatory, but if you want to support what we're doing, head over to patreon.com/happy for a change. For as little as $5 a month, you can help Happy for Change. You can help our initiatives. Happy for Change, their goal is to empower the world, to make the world a better place by reminding people they have the power of their attention and to pay attention to great ideas. Great ideas are ideas that will make our world a better place and allow you to flourish and allow everyone else to flourish. So if you like that mission, if you're on board with it, head over to patreon.com/happy for a change. You can also, when you subscribe, you'll get be able to join our Telegram group and you'll be able to chat with me and you'll be able to participate in group voice conversations and you can have me in your pocket. That's what I want. I want you to have me in your pocket. I really appreciate it. And if you're not a part of the Happy for Change audience, please remember to go to facebook.com/happy for a change and join the audience. All the links are down in the description below. Thank you so much. And we'll say hello to Bad Guru here. All right. I'm not even going to do a big transition. I'm just going to hop over there. All right. Hello, folks. Oh, let me take these off. Cheers! This is just water. I'm going to be doing a tea time, I think. Test. Let me make sure this is working. Yes. I'm going to be doing a tea time. I think I want to sit down with you folks and have a little fireside chat with some tea. Would you like that? Would you like having tea with me or coffee or whatever drink you want to drink? I didn't want to make it alcohol because some people can't drink alcohol, so you can drink whatever you want. But I was like, sit down, have a meal, maybe a dinner with Bad Guru. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments if you like the idea of dinner or tea or something. Tea time with Bad Guru. Movement is life. Never stop moving. All right? Here's the thing. Maybe you move. Maybe you're a mover. But something is going to happen in your life that's going to give you the excuse to stop moving, both externally and internally. It's going to give you the excuse to give up. It's going to give you the excuse to stop. I want you to prepare for that moment in your mind and to decide today what you're going to do if that occurs, that you're going to keep moving. Oh, I'm getting a call. Hello. I sound a little far away. Thank you for that. Let me see. All right, tell me right now. Thank you, Sam. Hello. Test. 1, 2, 3. This is Bad Guru doing an audio test. My producer, Samantha, she is helping me out here. I really appreciate her. Testing out the volume. She said it's a little low, so we're good? Excellent. Thanks. Never stop moving. Moving is life. Movement is life. Maybe you're someone who is moving, all right? But I want you to know that life is full of ups and downs. And there may come a day where you have an excuse not to move. You have an excuse to give up. And I want you to resist that urge. I want you to decide right now, today, how you're going to react when the time comes for you to stop moving. I don't want you to move. I want you to move. I don't want you to stop. And if you stop moving, I want to encourage you to move because I've been there. I've been lost in despair. I felt like giving up. I felt like the world was over. But that's just a feeling that you have. And you can determine how you feel. And when you change the thoughts in your mind and the feeling in your heart, you change your behavior, which then influences the world around you. I know. Oh, the last thing you want to hear when you feel like you're in a hopeless situation is for someone to tell you that there is hope. It's annoying. But I'm telling you from personal experience, if you move, you will feel better. I'm the type of person, I became this person who just won't give up. I became this person who just did not ever want to stop. I'll give you a story about the type of person that I am. Um, if I'm waiting for, when I used to wait for a bus at a bus stop, all right? I'm the type of person that if I'm waiting for the bus, I get so impatient. I can't wait. I can't wait for the bus. I will walk in the direction of the bus, like not in the direction of where I need to go, but in the direction of the bus so I can catch the bus, so I can catch the bus earlier. I mean, I've walked for half an hour in a direction just to catch the bus, and I catch the bus earlier. That's the type of guy that I am. I hate waiting for the bus. Something else I hate, what I hate more than waiting for the bus is when I just miss the bus. Now, I'll tell you, the amount of times that I've missed the bus and then chased that bus down, whew. There's one time I was heading to church, and, I come out of the subway, and the bus is right there at the stop. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was going to miss it, but there it is. And I run up to the bus, and the doors close. And I remember this one specific time, I'm knocking on the door, just, hello, I'm here, please open. And the bus driver just like kind of ignores me and just drives off. Just drives off. After I knocked on a window, the guy was at a standstill at the light and he wouldn't open the door. Oh man, I got so pissed off. I can't even tell you how mad I got. You know what I did? I knew the route this bus took. I'd taken it many times. And I didn't care that I was on my way to church. I was going to be damned if this bus driver was going to do this to me. Or if I was just going to let it happen. I mean, this route here, catching this bus, there really was no hope really for me to catch this bus. It'd be a maniac would catch this bus. But I decided I'm going to run anyway. I'm going to run. So the bus goes and does this turn, goes out of sight, and I start booking it. Now, this is probably the longest I've ever had to run to catch a bus because it's one of those things where the next stop wasn't somewhere close. The next stop was a long ways away. So I run and I run and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running. The bus is gone to the point I can't see this bus. Like it's on a completely different route. I'm down a side road. I can't even see the bus. I can't hear the bus. The bus is totally gone for me with no hope of me catching it. But I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running. And I got this sweat issue where I just sweat profusely and I'm just soaking wet and I'm running. My heart's pumping. It's pumping. I'm out of breath, but I keep moving. Now, here's the thing. I didn't have to catch this bus. I could just walk to church. Yeah, it would take me a little longer, 20 minutes longer or something, but I could just walk. But the fire in my heart, I was like, you know what? This friggin' bus driver closed the door in my face. How dare he? Look, we move for different reasons, okay? Some people move like Diane because she loves moving and she's happy. Some of us move because we're freaking pissed off, man. We're so mad and angry. Movement is what makes us feel better. I never thought that I could catch that bus. But man, running for it instead of just accepting defeat felt so much better. So I run up the street and I get up to the main road. And then I can see that the bus is multiple streets down, but I can kind of see it out of the corner of my eye in the distance. And once I get a glimpse of that bus and I calculate the distance between that bus and the stop that I need to get to, I realize I can't do it. I'm exhausted. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran. And then I got lucky. Bus hits a red light. I get a red light, but I can jump across the street. A few lucky breaks. The bus pulls up at the stop. And I'm running and it's about to go away. And I dashing to the front of the bus and I bang on the window. The bus stops. It opens up. And I walk on the bus. And I look at the bus driver. And the bus driver looks at me like no bus driver ever has. I've gotten similar looks from bus drivers, but this guy was shocked that I ran down this bus. Oh my God, the sweet, sweet look on his face. A mixture of incredulity to surprise, and he was impressed, and embarrassed, he looked at me and he was like, I am so sorry. I walked onto the bus. When I knocked on that door, I was getting on, I felt this righteous anger in my heart. And when he looked at me with those sheepish dog eyes, he was like, I'm sorry. I I didn't mean to. I walked onto the bus, and what I didn't realize is that when I had first got to the bus at the originating point, everybody on the bus saw that I got left behind. I was the only one. Just knocking on the window, banging, screaming, hey, as the bus drove off. Everybody on the packed bus, they saw me. And when I got onto the bus and I walked past that sheepish bus driver, and he said, I'm sorry, I could feel the anger just fade away. I had made it. I had succeeded. I did something I thought was impossible. I caught this bus. And I didn't have to live with any upset in my heart or with any grudge. I solved my problem right there by pushing myself more than I ever have. And then on that packed bus, I realized everybody had seen me and they were all impressed. Some of them started clapping for me. There were church people on that bus, church people going to the same church I was going at. And they were like, wow, I can't believe you did that. I am soaking wet. All my clothes, all my church clothes, I'm soaked through. I'm wearing a shirt and tie. I'm soaked through. But I felt so proud of myself. It wasn't so much about the bus. It just reminded me of the spirit that I had. Whenever I have to face a problem, I'm not going to give up. I will not quit, and I will move. If the choice is to stand still or to move and to try, I'm going to move. I'm going to try. That's what I want for you. I want you to run for your buses. I've caught many, many buses and felt very, very proud of myself, but never more than that day. I still remember it today. That activity created a memory in my head that I can use now as fuel forever, for as long as I can remember it. I remember that day and that look and those people who applauded me when I caught that bus. You think, what matters in life? What happened today? I ask you, how was your day? Oh, nothing really happened. Didn't have to do much. Wasn't much that went on. But every single moment of every single day, you have an opportunity to make a choice, to move yourself in the direction of who you want to be or away from it. And sometimes that choice is as little as accepting something that you could solve with some sweat and some effort, or just letting it go. Maybe you're like Diane and you encounter some technical difficulties as you're trying to do something new. But like Diane, you say, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to figure it out. When you do those things, no matter how small they are, they add to who you are. They add to your being. It's a memory that fuels you, whether you realize it or not. It reinforces the person that you want to be. And I don't know if you've ever been pissed off at a bus driver, but man, it felt good to rub it in his face. I did it righteously. I did it with plum. I didn't say, "Oh, you suck." I was like, "It's okay. I understand. You're a bus driver. You got places to go. You got a schedule to keep. I'm not going to hold it against you. You apologize. I can let it go." And the feeling of pride. I was watching this zombie movie. It's called. It's with Brad Pitt. It's called the World War Z. And Brad Pitt plays this military officer, and a zombie apocalypse occurs. And at the beginning, he ends up in an apartment building, huddled in an apartment with this Mexican family. And the father, the people, only the child speaks English, none of them speak English. And he's there, and he's trying to convince them, hey, we got to get out of here. We can't stay locked into this apartment building. We can't stay here. He says, "Movienda es la vida." I'm sure I'm messing that up. Movienda es vida. Movement is life. He explained to him, I've been in the war zones and all kinds of places. And the people who move, they live. And that's what I want to tell you. If you are stagnant and slow and not moving in this world, the zombies, they're going to get you. Those zombies, they're going to get you. And the movement that I'm talking about is not just physical movement. It's the movement and the flow of your thoughts. There's a stream of thoughts that is flowing through this universe that you are tapped into. And if you allow that flow, the stream to flow through you, you will be revitalized. But if you stick with just the pool of thoughts that you have in your head without refreshing them with new ones or updating them, then you will become stagnant and putrid and zombified. You shouldn't have the same thoughts and the same beliefs at 20 that you do at 40. And the same beliefs and thoughts that I have right now, I want to refresh them and have new ideas 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I'm refreshing my mind and my life every single year that goes by. Every single day, I try to include something in my thought pattern, in my habits and my behavior that will keep me fresh, that will keep me excited, that will keep me moving. Flow. Float. Fly. And like Diane, enjoy the journey as you fly. Because even if you're going fast, you can still appreciate everything that's around you. You ready to get your groove on? My groove has been on for a long time. I'm never gonna stop. Thank you so much for watching this show. I really appreciate it. My name is Peter Hartman. You're watching Bad Guru Nightly, and I am Bad Guru. Have a nice night.